Hello and welcome to another My Wild Knitting podcast episode. I don't remember, is it the 19th episode, 20th? Anyhow, welcome. If you are returning here, I thank you so much. I'm hoping you are having a really great holiday time and you're cozying up. And if you are just stumbling across this channel, you're new here, I welcome you. I hope you enjoy this little corner of the internet. My name is Martina Elisabetta. My family gave me two names. People call me Martina, very few people call me Elisabetta, and you find your way. And today is a kind of a little special edition podcast episode. I didn't bring all of the knitting projects I finished or some of my whips with me because I'm not at home. I am right now at my mom's place. I was born in this house and I grew up in this house, and it's filled with memories. Mike is at his family's place in Sweden. He went there for Christmas. But he will be back the 26th, and then we will go to the Alps. And so today is a special episode. I'm going to show you some of my knitted projects, like some finished objects and some work in progress projects. I'm not going to show you all of the finished objects that I've finished in the past months and something. Because I don't have them with me, because I gifted some to Mike, some of friends. So I'm going to show you some knitting projects for sure. And I also want to show you some of the little things that we made when I was a child and my mom still has at home. Not all of them because there are many, but some little crafted objects, and many of them are knitted and fiber related. So I really want to share them with you. I think it's nice, especially because they're very simple but unique objects, and maybe you can create them with your kids or you can make them yourself as decorations for the holiday season. So we'll start, and then I'm going to show you some of my favorite books. I was in love when I was a kid. When I found them yesterday, I think I'll ask my mom if I can have one or two of these books because I love them so much. Okay, but we'll first start with some finished objects. I have 3 finished objects right now here, I think, that I wanted to show you, and then I'll show you some work in progress projects, and later on I'm going to show you my childhood crafted objects. So let's start with the oldest finished objects. These socks, I finished them 2-3 weeks ago. It took me probably 1.5 days, something like that. And I've worn them many times, so excuse me if they look a bit worn down, but that's what garments are for. And yeah, so yeah. I just realized that I have a knitted garment on me, so I'm going to show you that. Sorry, I'm a little bit all over the place today, but this beautiful, beautiful sweater was made by my mom for my dad, and he didn't really use it so much, didn't wear it so much, and so my sister got it basically, and she came to my mom's house as well. She's here as well, and she was wearing it, and she's been wearing it for years now, and it looks absolutely beautiful. So this jumper probably has, I don't know, 20 years more even, and it's kind of a jumper that my mom just created without following any pattern. I think she knitted it, no, she knitted it in pieces, I believe, because I can see the sewing. So she knitted it flat in pieces, and she, Mita, sorry, my puppies are destroying a basket. Mita! So it's a very beautiful jumper, and I think it's quite simple to recreate, but it has these absolutely beautiful little details that she kind of mixed together. Some braids, some moss stitch, some garter bumps. I don't know, it's super nice, and I don't know, my sister always tells my mom that every time she wears this jumper, everyone compliments her and wants that jumper or ask her where she got it from. And I believe it's absolutely beautiful. It's super warm. My mom said that she used different wools, and I believe some of them, the darker gray one here, it's an alpaca yarn, she said, I think. And then these other colors, I think, are just 100% Italian wool. So I wanted to wear it today to show it to you. So I asked my sister if I could borrow it. But it's beautiful, and I was thinking maybe I could try to recreate it because it's just so beautiful. And yeah, on the sleeves there is this little nice detail as well. My mom knitted a lot when we were younger. She made a lot of, and she's sewn a lot of our clothes when we were small. She made some jumpers, lots of hats. She knits here and there, but it's not like her main hobby, let's say. I think she knits probably once a year or something. I don't know. And I'm also wearing some socks that I've knitted. Yeah. So that's what I'm wearing, and it's beautiful. It's a beautiful jumper actually, and it's really warm, and it's kind of like, it has this drop shoulder construction. It's sewn together, and it's quite oversized, but it fits super beautifully also on my sister especially. Okay, so I was talking about these socks. These are my Bilbo Baggins socks. I call them Bilbo Baggins from Lord of the Rings, for those who don't know, because I think that Bilbo Baggins would like to wear these socks, I believe. These are just simple vanilla socks that I've made in 1.5 days, and I used a very rustic wool, so they don't have any synthetic fiber in them, and they're just super simple and very warm. And sometimes I use, because they're a tiny bit bigger than my original foot size, I use them sometimes on top of other socks to kind of give that extra layer of warmth. And I brought them with me because we're going to the north, to the mountains, and so I need a lot of warmth because there is below 0 degrees Celsius, so it's super cold. I think it's -10, something like that, -5, it depends if there is sun or not. Okay, so those are one of my little finished objects. In the past month and so, I've focused a lot on knitting some gifts, not super many, but I kind of finished some projects that I was working on and focused on some gift knitting. But I've knitted for gift, I've knitted mostly hats and socks and a scarf for Mike. Yeah, that's basically what I've done. And then I gifted to my sister some jumpers that I've knitted last year that I wouldn't use, really nice jumpers, but that I wouldn't use. And so, okay, so let's continue with the finished objects. I've finished this beautiful, beautiful hat. I think it's beautiful. 2 days ago, and I finished it in a day, basically, as I was watching a movie with my sister. It's a super, super warm hat, super warm, and I have done a 1x1 ribbing for the the brim of the hat, and then a 2x2 part for the top part of the hat. Recently, I've always been following a little bit, not to the detail, but the creases of the pattern Watch Cap Hat by Pearl Soho. And it's beautiful. It's a beautiful pattern. It's free, so if you want to knit a hat for yourself or a loved ones, I would highly recommend it. And it's 2x2 hat, but you can knit it like a 1x1 and so on. I finished also a beautiful hat for Mike, but he has it now. It's in Stockholm, so I'll show it to you later at some point, maybe. The nice thing about this hat is the yarn I used. It's a beautiful, beautiful yarn. It's an unspun yarn. My sister is back. It's an unspun yarn that I received from a beautiful soul, Caroline. She's from Denmark, and she contacted me and she said, can I send you some Nutiden yarn in a beautiful kind of dark green brownish color. This is really right up my alley. I love it. And she said, can I send you like 500 grams, I think? And I was like, oh my god, yes. And I kind of said that I would send her some yarns as well, so we did some little yarn swap thing. But she sent me amazing yarns. I sent her some Italian plant-based fibers and also a alpaca, I don't remember, some Italian yarns basically. And yeah, this yarn is so precious. I am actually currently knitting another hat with it, holding it double. I don't remember the color name of this yarn, but it's kind of dark moss green, brownish, soilish color. I don't know how to describe it, but it's absolutely beautiful. And when I finished this hat, I was trying it on, and my mom came and she was like, oh my god, this hat is beautiful. So I decided to give it to her, and so now I'm making another one for myself, and it's absolutely beautiful. She really likes it, and it's super warm. That's the best thing. And it's not scratchy at all. That's the beauty of this yarn. So this yarn, it's a yarn I mentioned before, called Nutiden, and it's an unspun yarn that comes in cakes. like this is a bit smaller cake. I think each cake more or less is 100 grams, and it's super fragile, so it kind of breaks very easily, as you can see. But then you can just put it together and just roll it back together. Roll it back? I don't know if that's the word, but it's a beautiful yarn, and I've knitted 2 things with it already, or 3 little objects, and a jumper, and I love it. It's so soft and warm. Like, I know that I never tried Plötulupi by Istex, I think, the Icelandic unspun yarn, but a lot of knitters say that Plötulupi is a lot more scratchy, a lot more itchy, than the Nutiden. And yeah, this yarn is absolutely beautiful. They don't make the same colorway. They do like monthly or some shop updates every now and then, and those colors that you will find in that specific shop update will be unique. So, but sometimes the colors kind of come back in different ways, and it is just a beautiful precious yarn, and I'm so grateful for Caroline. This yarn is absolutely beautiful. And yeah, I'm knitting another hat, and this is just the 2x2 ribbed Pearl Soho hat. I think this one has 70 stitches, and I'm knitting it holding the yarn double, because it gives a little bit more sturdiness and strength, and also it's easier to knit. So this was a gift, a finished object that I still have here because I'm here, and my mom has it here. She didn't use it today, so I could show it to you, and it's very nice. And my mom is kind of brunette like me, and I think it looks really beautiful on her as well. Okay, so I showed you the hat, and I'm gonna show you another finished object that I finished a week ago, I think, something like that. This one, it's a big jumper, and it's really interesting because I've made this, I followed this pattern, and I made another cardigan at the beginning of 2022, and now it's the end of 2022, so it's really nice. And this is a modified version of the Felix cardigan by Amy Christopher. I've been wearing it, so it looks a bit, yeah, but it's absolutely beautiful. It's peeling a little bit. So I've used again the Nutiden yarn in another color. I bought this yarn from Nina from the A Crafter's Tale podcast. She sent me some beautiful skeins of her own hand-dyed yarn, and I bought from her 2 plates, 200 grams, of this colorway. You can see it up here very well. It's kind of like a rust brownish, I don't know how to describe this, but it's absolutely beautiful. And I bought it because she had extras, and she offered me if I wanted to buy it, because I was looking for this specific color, and I managed basically to finish an entire jumper, and I still have a little bit left using only 200 grams. And I've of course held it with another yarn that I don't have here with me, but it's the same yarn I used to knit my Bilbo bagging socks. And it's a Lithuanian rustic non-superwash wool in this color basically. This it's kind of like a beige. Yeah, and I held it together with the Nuti then, so it's super warm. It's kind of like a little jacket. I love it. And I've added some beautiful handmade olive wood buttons that I've made, and they are all different and they are absolutely beautiful, I think. And let me do a little close up. A modification that I've done on this jumper is I've basically knitted a little split hem. Here I've knitted the back, the ribbed back section, hem, I don't remember how to call it, longer than the front, but it's really like just a little bit longer. And it's kind of, I don't know what I've done here, but it kind of like is not so wide as the front, the back, but yeah, I was experimenting a bit. And I think I made some mistakes on the raglan increases. I don't know if you can see it. There are like little extra yarn overs. But overall, it looks really beautiful and it's super warm. Another little change I've made, I've done a kind of folded neck thing because I don't know, I really liked the look of folded necklines. Here you can see the mistake, I think, but doesn't matter. And on the neckline you can see that the collar is a bit different from the body. What I've done, I just held together the Nutiden yarn with a silk mohair, and I didn't use the other yarn that I used on the body and on the sleeves, on the rest of the jump of the cardigan, because this yarn that I used is a little bit, you know, it itches, and so on my neck and my forehead I'm quite sensitive and I don't like, you know, the scratchiness. So I decided to have it a bit more softer, and I kind of like that it's a little bit darker. I don't know. I love it. I really like this jumper. It's absolutely, or this cardigan, and I need more cardigans in my life. So yeah, I am really proud of this object, and it kind of knitted up quite fast. I think it took me 2 weeks, but because I was not, and I wasn't really knitting constantly on it, so it was really nice. And I've used needle size 5.5 or 75 millimeters needles. Yeah, because I think I got gauge. Yeah, the recommended needle size is 6 millimeters, and I got gauge with a smaller size. All right, so beautiful, beautiful. I love it. I love it. I highly recommend this pattern, especially because it's kind of like a simple cardigan, but it has this extra, you know, details that I think on the, you know, raglan section that I think really makes it very beautiful and very elegant. And it's also, yeah, quite quick, quite a quick knit, because you knit it with 6 millimeters needles. Okay, so I think I have 2 whips. One I showed you. Let me see, probably I have more, but I'm not gonna show them to you all of them a list today because I wanted to talk to show you a little bit the other crafted objects. But let's finish with the knitted, with the work in progress knitted projects that I'm working on these days. So the one that I showed you before is the ribbed hat that I'm knitting with this beautiful yarn, and I started it yesterday evening in the evening, and I was really tired. I think I knitted for like an hour or so, and I was watching something, and so I've done pretty much. It's quite fast. It's a quite fast knit, and I think I'll try to finish it today so I don't have to bother. And I also started something yesterday when I was editing another video. I've started this little, it's a mitten. I don't know if it will be a fingerless mitten. I'm not following any pattern, so we'll see. And look at these colors. I'm inspired by, I'm knitting this project for a make-along that Alex from the Ancestral Craft podcast is hosting, and is called the Feathered Friends Make-Along. And I'm getting inspired by a beautiful bird that has kind of these beautiful colors. And I'm using a yarn that Caroline sent me when we did this little yarn swap, and it's this beautiful sock yarn. Now I don't know the brand, but I can ask her if you wanted to know the brand. This is a beautiful self-striping sock yarn. Beautiful. It's really like autumnal, like dark moody colors that I love. And I'm holding it together with this beautiful silk mohair that she sent me. Beautiful colors, probably one of my favorite colors. Recently I've been a lot more into green, but this is definitely another of my favorites. And this is the color 27555 from Sannes Garn, Tin Silk Mohair. And it's a silk mohair yarn. So I'm holding these two yarns together, and I'm getting this really fun fabric, and I'm making like a pair of mittens. And I think I'm gonna tell you what I've done here, because I wrote down a little pattern in case you want to do it as well. So I've casted on 48 stitches, and I've knitted some rows, I don't know how many, but it doesn't matter, of 2x2 ribbing, knit 2, purl 2, and then I started knitting stockinette in the round, and then I put on hold 4 stitches for the thumb and casted on 5 stitches, and I kept working in the round, and I have these 4 stitches on this long DPN. I don't know if it's so practical though, but yeah, that's what I have right now. And it's absolutely beautiful. I think it's so beautiful how subtle these colors look, but I don't know, it's still very interesting with this silk mohair, and I bet these mittens will be very warm. I was thinking to make fingerless mittens because I like to go out and use my hands and not have to, take off the mittens. I like fingerless mittens, but I have already my fingerless mittens I made last year. They look really worn down and these are my main mittens basically, and so maybe I could just make normal mittens, so just closed, you know, those closed mittens, because I don't want to make fingers like the little fingers. I can't be bothered. I need just really simple knits these days. And I think I'm not gonna show you the rest of the little work in progress that I brought with me, because I wanted to show you some of the things that me and my sister made when we were younger, because they're really interesting. I don't know if you're interested in that, and if you're not, I will see you next time. Thank you so much for being here, and let's go into the little things that I've made when I was younger. So we start with some wooden statues, little statues. I have 2 polar bears now. We adopted 2 beautiful dogs. Their name are Mita and Mojo, and we call them our polar bears because they look like polar bears, literally. And when I was younger, I've made this beautiful polar bear. I think maybe I was 8 or 7. Look how pretty this is. It's pretty beautiful, I think. And it's a polar bear. It's not white, but maybe it's a grizzly bear. Who knows? So this was one of the little statues we made in school. I went to a Waldorf school, so Waldorf schools usually are very artistic, so you make a lot of things. You with your hands, you learn a lot of different crafts, and we had a wood workshop, so we made little things. And this is a dolphin, and it's very, I think it's really well made. I don't know, I love those. And okay, those were the wooden things, and then let's go into the little fiber objects. So for Christmas, around Christmas, we would make little angels with carded wool, and this one was one of the ones I made. It's a blonde angel with this pink dress, and it's so cute. My mom is still hanging it on the Christmas tree, so it's really beautiful, and it's really delicate. It doesn't weigh anything. I don't know. I think it's a super simple construction, and I'm sure there are different patterns and tutorials online if you want to look it up. But it's very beautiful. It has these beautiful wings. Special angel. Then we've made, still in the theme of Yule or Christmas decorations, we made little balls. The Christmas tree that my mom has here, you can see it. You can see another angel. Has a lot of balls, knitted balls. By the way, there are other wooden objects on that tables that my sister made. But yeah, this is one of the Christmas tree balls that we made. And then look at this. It has a star in there and a heart felted heart. This is a little Christmas stocking. How tiny! How cute! That my mom has on the tree, and she has different other little balls and little knitted objects. But I wanted to show you those two. And then my sister, earlier on, she was like, can you please show this that I've made as well? So I was like, sure. She made a beautiful horse. My sister is a horse lover. She loves horses. I mean, it's really cute. And it's fairly big also. And then she knitted a, I don't know if she knitted it or my mom, but I think she did, a little sweater or vest for the horse. This is very, you need a lot of skills to do this. So, congratulations, my sister. And then my mom made this is very old, for us to play. I think she made it probably like 25 years ago. With a wool cone, I think, that I also used for a sweater. But it's absolutely beautiful, and I've noticed that something chewed on it, so this needs some repair. But 2 horses, very, very beautiful, and it requires so much skill to make something like this. I don't know where to start if I would want to make it. I will need to look it up. And then this doll was my doll, and I made it when I was in school. Now she's little naked, so please don't look. But I made this beautiful doll when I was in school. I love her. I played so much with this doll when I was younger. And she is holding up really beautifully. I don't know why she's naked, because I remember we made a little dress. But she doesn't have it, and I didn't really look around to find it. And she's sleeping in this bag with my name on it that I've made when I was super tiny as well for her, or like it's kind of like a project bag. And inside I think there is another angel. Yay. I don't think I made this one. I don't really remember it. Probably my mom did. It's another beautiful angel. Maybe we can hang it on the tree later. Yes. Oh, this is, my God, this was like my God. This was a little hat, or in Italian we call it cuffia, that I had when I was younger. It wasn't, is not like a doll cuffia, it was mine. I found it. How cute. My mom made it probably. How cute. Sorry. My beautiful doll. And she stays in here. Look how pretty she is. A beautiful doll. I'm very impressed. Like, we were so tiny, but we could make beautiful things. So, yeah. And then my sister also wanted me to show you Birillo. My sister used to sleep with him always. She's really protective towards him, but she's told me that she wanted me to show you that she made this beautiful vest for him. It's it really fits him really, really beautifully, and it's 100% wool, felted wool, I would say, little lamb. This objects that I'm showing you hold so much memories, so many memories. Okay, another little object, and then I'll just wrap this up because yeah, I'm gonna show you the books quickly, but I wanted to finish the little showcase of very beautiful crafted objects. These are 2 lanterns that I've made. This, I don't know if I've made exactly this one. We made many of these beautiful lamps that are made with very thin paper, a lot of layers of thin paper. It's beautiful, especially when there is the light inside. It looks absolutely beautiful and it's super light. It's a little lantern. And then I made this one in school as well. A wooden kind of lantern, and between the little wooden frame there is glass that we painted, and it's absolutely beautiful. You can go in the woods. We used to go in the woods with this one and a little candle inside. So many memories. And last thing that I'm gonna show you is this book. I can show you also, these are the other ones that I loved so much when I was a kid. These are the fairies of the different seasons. For example, these are the fairies of the winter from Cicely Mary Barker. And it's beautiful because there are little poems on the side, and then there are the different illustrations of the different fairies of each winter plant. For example, the dead nettle fairy, the shepherd purse fairy. It's so pretty with these little poems. I love these little books. If you like this style, I would absolutely recommend you to try them, to buy them. And they're quite old, but look how beautiful the illustrations, and there also the little description and poems are delightful. Love this. And then this is my favorite. Buy this book for your kids, for yourself, for your loved ones. It's so beautiful. It's so fun to read. It's about gnomes and their habits, their houses. It's all about gnomes. There are little descriptions of what the gnomes are used to do, their physiology, their lifestyles, the animals that help them, and the illustrations are so beautiful. So I believe there are also, this is in Italian, but there are so many versions. I've seen them in Swedish, I've seen it in English. So the author is Port Villiet and Huygen. Guess Swedish one, not sure. And it's called Gnomes, and it has this little front cover, so you would recognize it. Please get this book if you want to be delighted by amazing and beautiful information. And there is also a section, it doesn't only talk about all of the different gnomes and what they are about to and all of that, but it also shows some foraging informations of the different plants the gnomes use for different sicknesses. So it's also kind of a little foraging guide, but there's just a little section. So don't buy this for the foraging purpose only. But how absolutely gorgeous this is. I'll show this better in another video, maybe these days, because I've spent more than an hour yesterday reading it, rereading it, and remembering and loving it and learning so much. So buy it for your kids and for yourself, or for the kid inside you. Love it so much. So thank you so much for being here and for spending some time with me. I hope you got some inspiration, or you were entertained for a while at least. I didn't show you many knitting projects because that's gonna be for another time. I don't have the time right now, but I really wish you a wonderful rest of the year. I think I'll upload another video before the end of the year, but we don't know yet. And I hope you will have a wonderful Christmas or Yule, whatever you celebrate. I hope you will have time to rest, get some really tasty food in your belly, and read beautiful books, move your beautiful body, and make things that are very unique for you. So thank you so much. And I also want to put here the name of the knit along winner. We didn't knit along, called Shall We Shall Knit Along. I already contacted this person. We already talked, so I just want to put it here because maybe you were wondering, and I don't want to not mention it. But we did a knit along that finished in second week of December about making shawls together, and I picked a little winner, even though I don't think there are winners because we all made beautiful things. But and I sent her a shawl pin. So yes, I guess I'm gonna go. The puppies are hungry and I need to meet my dad. I hope you will have a wonderful time and see you next time.